Hi guys, so today I am off to the local Rural King to get some hay. Now, I had bought a bale of hay from just a little town outside of where I'm from, but it seems that the rabbits are not as fond of this hay. It's not, you know, it's run through the baler and all of that, and I noticed that when I was pulling hay out to give it to them, some of it was dirty. I've been pricked by things, like there are little prickles on some of them, and if it hurts my fingers to pull it out, I really worry about them hurting their mouths when they're eating. So I definitely think that that bale of hay was not a good route. Luckily, it was only a little over $6 to get the bale, so I don't feel like it was a huge loss. So now I'm just gonna, for now, until I find something better, gonna pay the $12.99 for the large bag of KT Timothy hay. They're a lot more fond of that. So, because I dug to the bottom of the KT bag and got some of that hay out, and they were all over it. So it's definitely more their speed than that bale was, which is sad because that bale was so much cheaper. But we're just gonna have to do what we're gonna do and do what's best for the bunnies. And I don't think risking them hurting their mouths on whatever is in that hay, that they're like tiny little thistles or something. I don't even know. But so we're off to, or I'm off to Rural King to pick up a bag of KT hay, because I know they like that. And yeah, and then I got a couple other things I gotta do. I gotta go vote today, yippee skippy. So yeah, off to Rural King to get the hay for them, and then when I get back I will refill their hay racks, because I know they're getting low and I don't want them to be without hay for too long at all. So actually, I am going to stop here at Uncle Bill's Pets Superstore first. We come here a lot for, or all the time, for our dog food and our cat food. It's the only place that we can get Earthborn for them. And I want to check in here to see how much their hay is, because then I don't have to go as far. So we'll just, and maybe I'll take a peek at some of the animals that they have in here. The one thing I do not agree with Uncle Bill's is that they do sell puppies. And for that matter, I don't feel like they should have guinea pigs or anything like that either, because, you know, they come from mills just like the puppies do. But in a lot of cases, even though they come from mills, aside from the puppies, they do tend to house, I mean, I've seen very clean tanks for the fish and, you know, things like that. But, you know, and I do agree with adopt, don't shop. But at the same time, none of these animals ask to be bred, and they need homes too. So there is a, you know, a vicious circle with that, because you want those babies to have good homes as well, but you buy them and then the pet store will just restock. Now, what we need to do is take a stand with pet stores, and maybe they'll, hopefully in the future, they will just stop, you know, stocking animals in the first place and just do their supplies. But that's going to be, I mean, it's already started a little bit with other pet stores where they will not carry puppies. They won't carry puppies, they won't carry kittens unless they are keeping them for the shelter for adoption, which I think is great. But let's go in there and we'll check out the price of the hay, and we'll take a look at some of the animals they have in there. And please understand, because I don't know what their policy is in filming that I'm just going to be recording and not really talking because I don't want to draw attention to myself. I just wanted to put that little piece in there.
Okay, for what?
Can you be quiet, George?
Oh.
We'll let you out in a minute. Okay, since we haven't had you all day, and stuff like that, and we're still feeding it because it's business. And the wife is trying to find a way to find the cat that sees her breath, stuff like that. So you can do like a following type of work. And Robert,
He's a good helper.
yeah.
Good boy.
And I recommend, and I hope
Oh, how sweet is she?
okay.
Valentina. This gets me. That is not a breed. Hi, baby girl. Oh, she's adorable. Look at her. This is Zeus. That's outrageous.
He's a good girl, Robert. What are you talking about? For the most part. Sometimes he's not so sure, but.
Hi. Oh, you're so stinking cute. Look at that beautiful face. Oh, I'm sorry. I scared you.
Thank you, you too.
Oh, lion head over there. So gorgeous. I got 2 bunnies at home. I really don't have room for more.
That's for sure.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I would love to. Hi, darling. Hello. Hello. You are so gorgeous. Yeah. Oh. Pretty. Oh, I wish I could take you home. Oh my goodness. So sweet.
I know.
Oh, so sweet. Is that a male or a female?
Sure. First time I've actually
Oh.
you won't cry though. See if I can see you. No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You're just a baby.
Oh, that's fluffy. I'm so sorry.
Poor
sorry
baby.
this is taking so long.
That's all right. It's not a big deal. We don't need to stress him out.
Oh, it looks fine. As much as I can see. Hey, pretty girl.
Yeah, so cute. Yeah, the 2 that I got from the shelter.
Oh,
within the last month. They're so sweet.
They're really good animals. I really like them.
I know the one I got most recently, they had bought her, I guess, from, I don't know which pet store, but then realized, oh, they're a lot more responsibility than I thought, and dropped her off at the shelter, poor little girl.
Yeah, one of my best friends is like, she's like a bunny advocate, because like people really don't realize they're a lot of work.
They are a lot of work.
They are, because they're small animals. But
yeah, and they actually need a lot more work than, or like even more space than, and like most of the cages are way too small.
Yes, they're not even like,
not even close. I have a 4x4 X-Pen for mine, so.
Yeah, I think, my friend Maddie, she gets hers built, like custom built, because she does them right. I think she's even got like a whole spare bedroom for them.
I used to do that too, a whole room. Once my daughter moves out and goes to college, I'll be like, that room will be theirs.
They deserve that, though.
Yeah.
They deserve a good life.
They definitely need a lot of room to move.
Oh yeah. As much as they want to hop around and stuff.
Yeah, I love watching them do their binkies and, stuff. Yeah. How beautiful. How beautiful. Hi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi. Yeah. Oh, you're a beautiful bird. You're a beautiful bird. Yeah. You're a beautiful bird. Hi. Hi. Yeah. These are what my husband has. There's a flower horn. Got a bearded dragon in here. I want to get a little hide for my beta, who still needs a name, by the way. But I don't want to spend an arm and a leg. Even $5.99 for that. We used to have one of those. I don't know if we still have it. It seriously bugs me that they still do cedar and pine bedding. Aspen is good. This bugs me too. Rabbits don't eat seeds. Don't get these for your babies. None of these. Rabbits are not grain eaters, guys. Rather than the KT, I'm wondering if I should just get the oxbow. It's cheaper than the KT by $1. This is orchard grass, and then over here they've got the Timothy. Looks like the Timothy is the same price. Rather than going all the way over to Rural King, I might just get it here. It's the same price, and it's reasonably close to the same size bag. I can double check that, but that's a good size bag. And Oxbow is a good brand. Here's a bowl. My husband couldn't find it. This is what Milo has, and I want to get one for Hera as well. So I'll probably do that too. Okay, so yeah, I was actually surprised while I was walking around that I didn't see any betas, which I'm actually happy about because they shouldn't be living in those tiny little cups until they go to a home. But yeah, so I got this bowl that Milo already has, and then I will. This is a decent sized bag of hay, but I'm going to compare it to, it's the same price as the KT, and I want to compare it in size. This might be the only time I get this bag. If not, I know that, you know, I can still go to Rural King later and get their hay. But if I decide to stick with this one, every 11th bag is free. So that's kind of nice. But anyway, I am off to go back home, guys. Actually, I seriously loved that lionhead bunny. You know, if I didn't already have the two, and honestly, if she wasn't so flippin' expensive, because I mean, adopting from the shelter only cost me $10 per bunny. Whereas if I wanted that lionhead, first off, she's not going to be spayed, and the rabbits that I got from the shelter were fixed. Both of them are, so that's, you know, for $10, I don't have to, I got, you know, they're not as young, but, I don't have to pay for spaying or neutering. And, with this little girl, this lionhead here, you'd have to pay $60 plus tax to bring her home. And then on top of that, you'd have to spend the money to get her spayed. And I think that is a ridiculous price. You know, I know that the shelter still has bunnies. There's not a lionhead there, but they need homes, and they're super sweet. They were skittish when they came home, but Milo warmed up to me. You know, in a couple of weeks, he climbs on my lap. He still doesn't let me pick him up. He doesn't like it. No bunny does, but Hera actually will, liking it or not, allow me to pick her up when I need to. But I paid $20 for those two rabbits to bring them home. Don't have to get them fixed. And then, yeah, I had to spring them for the money to house them. But the cage that Hera is currently in, I got secondhand for cheap. Off of, there was the Facebook Marketplace. And that's only a temporary spot for her until I can bond them. We did get an X-Pen off of Amazon. And maybe in the future we'll get another one to make their space even, you know, bigger, because once she's in there, you know, then it's not going to be a 4x4 space for one rabbit. It's going to be a 4x4 space for two. So it wouldn't hurt to add on to expand the space. But that'll come. But yeah, it's sad to me that, you know, the rabbits and the puppies and all of that, the guinea pigs, they come from mills and they're so overpriced. It's just so sad. And, you know, if we encourage people to adopt rather than shop, I worry about, you know, what happens to these poor babies that we're encouraging people not to purchase because we want you to rescue or adopt from a shelter or, you know, something like that. These babies need homes too. So it's a catch-22. I'm torn about that. I do think it's absolutely ridiculous that you have to spend that much to take them home. I really do think pet stores need to rethink. It's not about the money. You know, they're doing this for the money. And I've heard about too many instances where pet stores are actually getting into trouble because they are not providing the proper vet care for the animals that they have in their shop when they get sick. Because they want to keep their costs down. And if you want to keep your costs down by not having to take the animals that you have to the vet, try not carrying them in the first place, because I don't know, it's not fair to the animals. More often than not, the enclosures that they're in until they're purchased are too small. And then, you know, it's just, I didn't see any hamsters while I was there. I just saw guinea pigs and I saw a chinchilla and the ferrets, but I didn't see any hamsters. I might have also just missed them. But yeah, I just, you know, it's hard for me to see the animals there because I know they need homes too. Mill or not, they didn't ask to be born. I just wish that the pet stores would stop carrying them. When I was younger and less informed, I loved pet stores that had puppies because you could take them out and play with them and, you know, things like that. But knowing more of what I know, they shouldn't be carrying them. And back when I first got my first bunny, you know, it was in like 1999, I believe it was. It was, I think I only paid $20 for him. Now bunnies are like $60. And I'm like, what the heck? That person in that car over there was looking at me funny because I'm talking. You know, for all he knows, I'm talking on the phone with speaker, you know. But apparently I'm very interesting looking talking to myself. So anyway, yeah, first thing before I get home is I'm gonna go and vote, and then I go home, and I never did give the bunnies their breakfast yet. I gave them their vitamin C tabs, but then I had left, so they still need to eat. And it's almost noon, so they're probably thinking, what the heck, she gave me my vitamin C and hasn't come back to give me my breakfast. So once I vote, I'm going to go home and do that, refill their hay, give them some good hay, and yeah, we'll go from there. And I could keep this video going if you want to see me give them their breakfast and refill their hay and stuff, but you know, you've seen me do that before, so it's not necessary for me to keep this video any longer than it already is, since it's already 24 minutes. So yeah, I'm just going to head off to vote and then go home and start my routine with the rabbits. So hope everybody has a great day, guys. Talk with you later. Bye.